You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10.
You watched it play out live right here on News 4, the dramatic ending of every parent's worst nightmare.
A stranger takes a joyride inside a Metro mom's car. That entire time, her two young children left sitting helplessly in the back of that car. Good news, both children are home safe tonight. And just within the last 30 minutes, this man, James Acosta, was booked into the Oklahoma County Jail.
The details still continuing to unfold at this hour, from how all of this started to what happened after his arrest.
News 4's Jacqueline Chappell kicks off our team coverage from the Oklahoma County Jail. And Jacqueline, that suspect is no stranger to the law either.
Jolene, Eli Acosta is currently facing felony charges out of Cleveland County for assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Now he's facing charges here in Oklahoma County for kidnapping and also larceny of a vehicle.
His excuse was, well, I was just trying to take him home.
That's what this man said after police pulled him over for stealing a vehicle with two helpless children trapped inside. It all started around 5 p.m. when the mother went into this business near Southwest 15th and Agnew. Police say she left the vehicle on, with keys and her 4-year-old and 8-month-old kids inside. And the search was on, but police had no clue where to even begin as they raced against a ticking clock.
The big concern we had is that if he abandoned the vehicle, if he was to turn it off and leave those kids inside, it's going to get to 140 degrees in less than 10 minutes.
Luckily, a tracking device was installed on the car when the mother purchased it from a used car lot. Within moments, the gray Nissan Armada was in sight.
They have live tracking. It's basically instantaneous. And once we got to them and they started tracking the vehicle, we were down. They, got us right to it in the block.
One nearby business capturing surveillance video of when the car was stolen. While they didn't want to release it without first speaking to investigators, the workers tell News 4 they saw the vehicle on camera running for 25 minutes while the mother was inside the clinic, leaving the kids alone. Police now issuing a warning.
Please tell your viewers, don't do it. Do not do that, because you end up with this.
And police now tell us that suspect did not have any relation to the mother or the children. He is now spending the night here at the Oklahoma County Jail. His bond is set at $210,000. And also, News 4's Peyton Yeager is continuing our team coverage tonight. And Peyton, you have more on the dramatic reunion of that family. Peyton.
Yeah, Jacqueline, just a mile away from you, we saw an emotional scene play out. Those officers holding those two children in their arms until the mother could arrive, and our chopper watching the whole thing play out from the sky and even playing a key part in this story.
This is a happy ending here.
A happy ending caught on camera after more than 50 minutes of terror for a Metro family. Her two children helpless in the back seat of her Nissan Armada as a man took police on a joyride through the city. During that hour, officers in the air and on the ground searching for the stolen car. Our Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4 right in the middle of the action. In fact, our crew the first to spot the gray car down below near Southwest 16th and Young Street. Photojournalist Mark Dillard with the eagle eyes.
That's it.
Several cop cars swarm in. The man immediately jumps out, his hands up, followed by 10 officers surrounding him with one thing on their mind, the 8-month-old and 4-year-old in the back seat. A split second that felt like an eternity. No one sure if the kids were even in the car. But then a sigh of relief, 2 thumbs up, as another officer holds one child, the second child not far behind, both unharmed. Officers hugging them as they waited for their mother and other family members to arrive, holding their babies tight, thankful to see them safe. Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4 pilot Mason Dunn, no stranger to helping police with chases, but this is one that will stick with him for a while.
Yeah, we have stolen cars all the time, but not a lot with 2 kids inside.
The family clutching the children as they lead them back to the car where terror had unfolded just moments ago, thanking officers as they leave.
I can't imagine how the mother felt.
We were there on the ground too, the family asking for space at this time.
Step back.
As the children are loaded up and finally go home.
It's the ending that I was looking for. I was just happy that the kids were safe.
And as we were on that scene today, the officers kept telling me that they were so happy that Acosta stopped when he did, because they didn't want to initiate a pursuit because they didn't want to risk the lives of those children inside. Reporting live, Peyton Yeager, Oklahoma's News 4.
Now, first weather from the Forewarned Storm
It was
Team.
a brutally hot day today across Oklahoma. Heat index in the southern parts of our state hit 115 today. Let me show you a sunset from northwestern Oklahoma that is just gorgeous. A few thunderstorms went up near Arnett out in Ellis County, and check out all this color as it splashes across the western Oklahoma sky there about an hour ago. Awfully nice. Here in Oklahoma City, we had the hottest day of the summer so far, 96 degrees with a 76 dew point, and the Metro's heat index topped out at 110. IMSA had 12 heat-related calls today. 5 of those went straight to the ER for heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Earlier today, the cap or the lid was very strong over central Oklahoma, so storms did a great job at going through eastern Oklahoma and then developing in North Texas and out in the Texas Panhandle. But the cap or lid kept storms from forming, even with all that heat and humidity here in Oklahoma City today. But tonight we're tracking what could be Barry forming in the Gulf of Mexico and how that may affect Oklahoma's weather. That forewarned forecast coming up.
Thank you, Mike. Also tonight, uranium and a bottle of Kentucky Deluxe. That's just a small part of how the morning started for officers in Guthrie, when a traffic stop was anything but. News 4's Cassandra Sweetman on the night beat. And Cassandra, that really only scratches the surface, you found out.
That's right, Jolene. With everything they found inside, police are trying to figure out just what these two had planned.
There's quite a few unanswered questions.
Police had no idea what they would find when they pulled over a Ford for an expired tag at 11 a.m. in Guthrie. In the driver's seat, Stephen Jennings, and passenger Rachel Rivera, and someone or something else, too.
In the back seat, there was another passenger. It happened to be a timber rattlesnake.
Body cam shows the moment they made the unexpected discovery. Police not really knowing what to think of the venomous pet.
That sucker is huge.
About the same time Jennings told officers he had a pistol in the console, police also learned the Ford they were driving was stolen.
So now he's got a rattlesnake, a stolen vehicle, a firearm, and somebody under arrest.
That's not all. Next to the gun was an open bottle of Kentucky Deluxe whiskey. And to top it all off, a search of the vehicle revealed a canister of radioactive powdered uranium. Police had to call in reinforcements to handle it.
When that happens, of course, we call in, a company that deals with that specifically, and that's taken safely into possession. And the uranium is the wild card in that situation.
So far, the uranium hasn't resulted in charges. Guthrie police still trying to figure out exactly where it came from and what the suspects were planning on doing with it. No charges have come from the snake either, thanks to the time of year.
It happens to be that we're in rattlesnake season at the time, and so he can be in possession of this rattlesnake because he has a valid lifetime hunting and fishing license.
But police are still scratching their heads about what exactly was going on here.
A bit of an odd stop for our officer.
The charges against the two include possession of a stolen vehicle and possession of a firearm after a former conviction. Both are still in Logan County Jail.
That deputy really summed it up when he said an odd find. Cassandra, thank you. Stillwater police say it is the biggest drug bust they've ever seen. And it all started after officers followed a man they say is a known drug offender.
All I know is that boy's in trouble.
In that vehicle, we seized over 2,000 hits of LSD, arrested the driver, and that's what led us to obtaining the search warrant for the residence.
Guess what? That's just the start of it. Back at Jacob Stace's home, they found more acid, pounds of pot, along with ecstasy, Xanax, shrooms, $26,000 in cash. Stacey faces 5 felony drug-related charges for all of this.
Native American tribes pay the state more than $140 million a year in gaming exclusivity fees. But come January, the 15-year deal between tribes and the state is going to expire. Now Governor Kevin Stitt says it may be time to rethink the original agreement. Here's how the numbers break down. Oklahoma tribes pull in $4.5 billion a year thanks to casino-style gaming. But of that, only 4 to 6% goes back to the state. According to Governor Stitt, other states get a much larger cut. The national average showing states get about 20 to 25% in gambling fees. Governor Stitt now sending a letter to 35 tribal leaders saying it's time to talk business.
I think have contributed greatly to the state, much more than perhaps he's aware. They're having trouble managing money, and they want to find other sources.
That was Kirk Kickingbird, a tribal law expert who helped negotiate the original agreement in 2005. He says there's no real incentive for the tribes to negotiate because, as written, if there's not a new deal struck for 2020, the old one stays in place for 15 more years.
Also tonight, emergency crews are warning of a dangerous heat situation once again. As of 9 p.m. tonight, 86 people treated by IMSA, and that's just over the last 2 weeks.
And Mike Morgan in the Forewarned Storm Center. Mike, how long is this going to last? A cold front?
A cold
Maybe?
front,
Yeah.
yes. A cold front is actually moving into Oklahoma tonight. It's rare for mid-July, but I can promise you, you will feel a difference. I'll talk about not cool weather, but at least a change. Your Forewarned forecast straight ahead.
Okay, for our viewers know, Wednesdays, pay it forward. And we're going to see who's surprised with $400 coming up next.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10 with Jolene Chaney, Kevin Ogle, Mike Morgan, Brian Brinkley, and Scott Himes in your corner. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you. You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10 with Jolene Chaney, Kevin Ogle, Mike Morgan, Brian Brinkley, and Scott Himes in your corner. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you.
All right, imagine going before Metro City Council to argue for a cause you're really passionate about.
You're probably thinking, yeah, big deal, whatever. A lot of people do that, but not when they're just 8 years old.
Join Kevin Ogle and First Fidelity Bank for tonight's Pay It Forward.
I think we should get a bigger animal shelter to help these pets.
That's little 8-year-old Molly Haskett 2 years ago before Midwest City leaders telling them their city needs a bigger animal shelter. And Molly doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk. Flash forward 2 years, and now as a 10-year-old, Molly at the Midwest City Animal Shelter working with the cats here, keeping them company, even reading to the felines.
I ran, I caught the ball, I brought it back. Now what?
It's calming. It's social. It helps socialize them. So we get cats. The cats come in the shelter. They're very scared, and it takes time for a cat to acclimate more than it does a dog. And it's just soothing. It gives them more of a home environment. We set it up. There's chairs in there. She sits in there. She reads. She's got toys and she plays with them. And it's just a better environment for the cats. It makes them more adoptable.
Young Molly's passion for stray and neglected animals has grown into a full-fledged Facebook site called Molly's Cause for Paws. Molly, with the help of her grandmother, raises money for local shelters by selling homemade arts and crafts and volunteering. For all she's done, Jana nominated Molly for Pay It Forward. Well, we're just outside the animal shelter right now. I'm here with Jana, who's nominated Molly, and I'm also here with Kimberly Clift, a branch manager for First Fidelity. She has the 400, so we can pay it forward. Kimberly.
We're honored to be a part of such an act of kindness. So on behalf of First Fidelity Bank, here is $400.
They just used their last $100 to buy flea and tick meds, so I know they depleted their funds completely. So I know she's going to be very excited to get this money and to be able to help.
You ready to go pay it forward?
Yes, I am.
All right,
Thank
let's
you.
do it.
All right.
We found Molly taking care of a kitten just a few days old. Molly, my name's Kevin Ogle.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, hon. And I'm with Channel 4. And somebody nominated you for our program Pay It Forward. I think the little kitten's excited too. Yeah. And our Pay It Forward is for people who are doing good things. And somebody said, you're doing a great thing. So Jana nominated you.
When y'all donate supplies and you read to my cats, I can't thank you enough. So I have $400 for you for Molly's Cause for Paws.
Thank you. I think we can do great things with this. Thank you so much.
Molly's grandmother says this 10-year-old dynamo has a passion to help whatever the need may be.
I could not be more proud. This child has more compassion in her heart for animals and for people. The other day we were at the grocery store and there was an older gentleman in one of the rolling shopping cart things, and he was in line, and I thought about right behind us at the cashier, and I thought about telling her to go help him. I didn't have to say a word. That's just her heart to go help.
And oh, by the way, that new animal shelter Molly wants for the city, the architect and the ground have already been picked out. Construction should begin next year.
Oh, sweetie.
Molly Haskett, proving you're never too young to pay it forward.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah, if you know somebody you'd like to nominate, like Molly, who needs to be recognized with our Pay It Forward award, go to our website, kfor.com.
Now.